Good evening. My name is Michael Martin, and I'll be chairing tonight's Mill Creek Township Zoning Hearing Board meeting. Representing the township at the table down below is Matt Puz. Our court reporter is Cecilia Mahana. To my immediate left is excuse me, Scott Calhoun, board member. Our solicitor is Rich Perhax, and again, representing the township is Julie Maggio. We're going to take the cases in the order in which they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, we're going to ask you to come to the podium over there, give us your name, give us your address, be very specific about what you're asking us to grant as far as the variance request is concerned. Any materials you show us, we must keep for a period of 60 days. If you want them back after that period of time, you can go to the zoning office and retrieve them. We do have up to 45 days after close of testimony to make any and all decisions. Excuse me. There was a sign-up sheet in the back. We want all of you to have recorded your presence here, so we do have a record of who was in attendance. At this time, I'm going to ask everybody to stand and be sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay. Our first appeal is appeal number 21-8, Randy and Kathy Corvino, for property located at 4405 Colonial Avenue, asking for a dimensional variance to construct an addition within the front yard setback in the R1 single-family residential district. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, thank you. First appeal, please, name and address.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Randy Corvino. My wife Kathy's over there. We live at 4405 Colonial Avenue, and it's 16506, I'm sorry. And the variance that we're asking for is our existing one-car garage. We want to increase the size to a two-car garage. And in order to do that, you can see that little print that the contractor had supplied us. It should be in the handouts. We need an additional 7 feet. Yes, that is.
You're referencing this document?
That is a document,
Thank
yes.
you.
And so I see that the bright orange would be the additional 7 feet that's required for the variance to allow us to put that extension on the north side of the building. And what we plan on doing would be to take our garage right now is a go-through garage. We have 2 garage doors, one on the east and one on the west side. So what we plan on doing is taking the one garage door, if we're allowed to do this, on the east side, saving that, put it on the west side, north of the garage door that there is now, and use that one driveway for the exit and enter into the garage. On the east side, we plan on having that a solid wall with just one man door. So all the traffic in and out of our garage then would be on the Colonial side, is the west side, but it empties out into Dolphin Avenue. It doesn't go into Colonial Avenue at all.
Okay.
So that's basically what we want to do, is just expand it to a 2-car garage. And a couple reasons. One is, well, we'd like to put the second car in the garage for protection, and why not? And the other reason is, over the years, it's becoming harder and harder to take the snow and ice off of the car that's out in the driveway. So those are basically 2 reasons we'd like to do this.
Have you spoken to your neighbors about this request?
I didn't speak to any of them, except one of them came over to us and asked me what we were doing. And we said, I want to expand the garage. She was out walking her dog. And the other one asked me the same thing, another lady from across the street. I don't know her name, but she came over one day and says, hey, I see the paperwork or the sign on your driveway. And we said, yeah, I want to expand it to a 2-car garage. And that's it.
Okay. Okay. Scott, do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if I explained it correctly, but
Does the township have any position on this? Is there anybody in the audience with any questions or comments regarding this request?
I have one. Yeah, I'm a little confused from the drawing on the actual dimensions of the addition.
Yes.
So what is the length and width of the new part?
The new part would be that 5 foot and the 7 foot. See the 5 and the
No,
7?
it can't be
That-
5 by 7 if you're putting a car in it.
Pardon me?
It can't be 5 by 7 if you're putting a car in it.
No, the car would be coming in from the east side,
I don't care where it's coming from.
yeah.
Well, look at the, this, Rich,
Yeah.
colored one like that, that'll help you.
And the
Well,
length,
I did look at it.
One at a time, please.
Maybe, I did look at it, maybe I'm dense, but I don't seem to understand the dimensions of it.
okay, the
Sir-
length of the garage is 21 feet from the front of the car to the rear of the car. You see that number that's 21.33?
Yeah,
Our car sits in that direction.
so the addition is gonna be 21.33 long.
Wide.
No, we're asking for the 13 feet extra, or 12
That-
feet extra.
No, that's the setback. I'm not interested, I know what the setback is, and I know how much you want to encroach on it, I know what the
Okay.
variance is. But I wanted the dimensions of the thing you're gonna build, length and width.
Okay, it's 21 feet
There you go.
length. And then the
2133, actually.
Yeah, okay, 2133 is on the print here, and then the 7 and the 5 is actually the
12.
extension out into Dolphin
Well,
Avenue.
that's what I mean, so it's 20, the thing you're gonna build is 21.33 feet long and 12 feet wide, is that an accurate statement?
Yes,
Okay, that's all I wanted.
yes,
It wasn't perfectly clear to me, okay.
yeah, that's,
Why do you have it broken out into 7 feet and 5 feet?
well, without the variance, according to, we're allowed to go out 5 feet from the building.
Right, that's what he's allowed to do.
Yeah, that's
So
allowed.
he broke,
This is what
he broke,
what he's asking for,
he broke the addition into two parts, the part that's already allowed
I see.
and the part that he needs a variance to do. And the total is 12.
Right, that's it.
Gotcha, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
No, thank you.
No other questions or comments regarding this request? Okay, thank you. Our next appeal is 21-9, Margaret J. Allen for property located at 2904 Pittsburgh Avenue, also known as 2910 Pittsburgh Avenue, asking for a use variance to change the use of an existing non-conforming use from retail to business office in the R1 Single Family Residential District.
Hi, I'm Margaret Allen. I go by Peggy, makes it much easier. My home address is 2319 South Shore Drive, Erie, PA 16505. I am the owner of Hanson's Errand Service, and we transport people basically anywhere that you want to go. We take people to medical appointments, hairdresser, out to dinner. We do a lot of airport work. We also do courier service, so we do grocery shopping, deliver groceries, prescriptions, packages. The list is pretty endless as to what we do. We do travel. We take people to medical appointments in Pittsburgh, Seven Fields, Mars. We take people to Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo Airport. So that gives you hopefully a good overview of what our business is. I have owned it since December of 2006. We are currently housed at 1805 Pittsburgh Avenue in the Zern Complex. We've been there for 10 years. Our lease is up, and due to some health issues of my husband, we needed to reduce the location that we are at, and therefore we are needing to move, and we are looking to move to the 2904 Pittsburgh Avenue. It will house all of our vehicles in the garage, and the separate location that's, it's a separate building at 2904 will be our office staff. My variance is because it is currently a retail business. Shanny Sheds is in there currently. obviously doing retail work, and I am looking to do non-conforming to business office, because, as I stated, that's really all I'm doing. I have 8 vehicles and 2 5x8 enclosed trailers. I use the trailers for when we're doing large groups of people, because 2 of my vehicles are 10-passenger vehicles. And so when we take people to the various airports, we need something to carry all of their luggage. So that's what we use the trailers for. My office staff consists of 2 full-time people and a part-time person plus myself. Any questions?
Couple, actually. Your hours of operation?
My business hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, while my business service is, we are transportation by appointment. That's very important because most people look at us as a cab service or an Uber, and we are not that. We are regulated by the Public Utility Commission, so as everybody has a boss, the PUC happens to be my boss. And so, as I stated, we are transportation by appointment.
Okay.
So I do have, because we do take people to the airport early in the morning, I do have drivers that come in as early as 5 a.m. And
You'd said you have 2 employees. Those are office employees. How many?
that's correct.
How many employees could you have potentially parking on site? The maximum number at any one time?
At any one time with my drivers, I would probably say 6.
Okay. So in effect, and I guess part of my question is, how many parking spaces are going to be required for this particular business? Because it sounds like you're talking a minimum of 10 at this point. Is that correct?
Well, all.
I'm
So
looking at maximum
I
numbers.
understood your question correctly, that my Hanson vehicles are Priuses and Caravans, and they are all gonna be parked inside the garage. So the only outside vehicles will be employees. So it'll be myself and my office staff, which is 2, and then my drivers. And any given day, I mean, that can be, typically, it's 3 to 5. While I have a couple of full-time drivers, most of my drivers are part-time.
Okay, that I understand. What I'm trying to
Okay, I'm
ascertain is,
sorry.
how many parking spaces would be required if we granted a variance? And the reason you're really here isn't the business that's presently in there. This property is zoned residential,
Okay?
and we've had numerous cases on this property over the years that are operating on variances.
Okay?
And every one of them, if you go back and look, have different stipulations about what they can and can't do, both on-site and inside.
Okay?
So that's, I'm looking for some of this stuff, because the neighbors, have you spoken to any of the neighbors about this?
I have not.
Okay. I don't know if we have neighbors in the room, but if you're here, you will have your opportunity to talk. So, parking,
I
Matt?
don't know the answer to your question. Hopefully Matt does.
Yes, the parking requirement for a business office is 1 space for every 150 square feet of office space. Per the county, their business area is 1,296. So I think that comes out to, is that calculated? As it would be 8.64, we round up to 9.
Now, that's for the office space, or is that the entire structure?
That's for the office space.
Now, there's also the garage area, is there not? That has to be counted for parking? I don't know.
I mean, in general, for like an accessory structure like that, you would be allowed, or would be permitted to park the vehicles inside there, and those could be used for parking.
I'm not talking about her vehicles, I'm talking the requirement of the township Because as I understand it, if they have 8 vehicles that are housed inside, and they had 8 drivers come to get those 8 vehicles to take somebody somewhere, that would mean 8 people would have shown up for work. And then if there's 2 employees plus Mrs. Allen plus a part-timer, I'm just trying to figure out how many parking spaces, because we may have to also talk about granting parking space requirements.
Quick, if we treat the garages would be, that's one for, treat as warehousing, that's one for every 500 square feet of warehousing. Business, per the county, it's 4,560, so that would be 10 parking spaces. But we would also, since the warehousing can be used for parking, we would consider any parking inside the garage, or inside the warehouse towards the parking requirement.
So
And I understand that.
So they already have it.
Mhm.
I think that's what he's saying. Because if you count the interior spaces plus the exterior spaces, they seem to have a lot.
Correct.
I just want to make sure that what we're
Yeah,
doing
no,
is,
no, I get it.
okay.
I mean, point being, and I don't think she needs that relief. I think there's enough. If this were zoned properly for the use, make that assumption, you would not have a parking problem with what she's describing.
No.
Because she's using the interior.
She could, well, she counts them. I mean, she
Right.
could use them or not use them, but she counts them.
And the trailers are also going to be stored inside?
Yes,
Okay, so in effect, unless there's somebody coming to get a vehicle to transport somebody, there won't be any on-site premises at night, in effect, parking?
correct.
Okay.
If I may, what is the nature of the retail business that's there now?
Shanty Sheds is in there,
What is it?
Shanty Sheds.
They sold
They
sheds.
This is the Amish.
This is,
shed place.
they sold sheds, and that's where when they
Oh,
asked for
yeah.
their variance, we limited the number
You're-
of sheds
you're
and
right.
things.
We've had many cases on this property.
Yeah,
Are they leaving?
yes,
Yes,
they're going out of
the
business.
owner,
This is probably,
one of the owners passed away, so the widow is selling the property at this time.
Okay. At this time, I don't have anything else. Scott, do you have any questions yet?
No.
People in the audience, if you have questions or comments about this case, please come forward and give us your name and address.
Hi.
To the podium, please.
Hello? Okay. Dave Talbot, 2909 Court Avenue. As far as parking concern, you can make anything work. That's no big deal. My only concern is vehicle maintenance. Will that be performed on site within the facilities?
No,
Oil changes, tire
No.
changes, anything?
I outsource all of my mechanical work. Rick Sorgenberger does the majority of my work. The only requirement that they certainly have to check the oil and
Sure.
fluids and tire pressure and that. The only maintenance would be that they are required to wash the vehicles, because I'm kind of picky about how they look.
I believe your concern, sir, is there going to be noise like tire guns and all that kind of stuff at that point in
Yes,
time?
Yeah.
Because I think we've had you in previous requests on this particular property in the past. We had a,
yeah.
Yeah, you won't have any of that.
Now, you say the business hours are like 5 o'clock, just your open business hours, and the rest
The
is...
people in the office are there 8 to 5, and my service itself, because it's by appointment, can be as early as 5 in the morning until 8, 9 o'clock at night. I personally am a workaholic, so
Sure.
I'm there all hours and on weekends, but my office staff is not there on weekends.
now, let me ask a follow-up question to that, though. Your customers, if they're being transported somewhere, they don't come to your facility. Your driver goes to them.
That is correct.
And I think that's important too, because even though you're describing it as a retail business, you're not running a retail store.
Not at all.
You're a picker-upper and a dropper-offer.
That's correct. The
Okay.
only public visits I would see would be, you know, if you came and said,
Hey, I need a service or
right,
whatever.
or if you were applying for a job, that would do it. Every business has cold calling of some sort that people show up, but that's the extent of my, public people coming to visit us.
Yeah, that was about my only concern there, the coming and going, so employees or people working for you,
Sure.
that's not a big deal. Air compressors running or drum instructions.
Yeah, I mean, I won't.
That's a different story.
Yeah,
2 or 3
I won't-
businesses ago, I think you had that problem.
Pardon me?
It sounds like you'll see less traffic now than you,
It sounds
with
like
this
it,
business
yeah.
than you do with what you have now probably.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch in and make sure, and, you know, I've had people say things and other things come about.
Well, and as I said, I believe 2 or 3 businesses ago that were in there, you had, as a neighbor, some of that problem with work being done
Yeah.
late into the evening. I remember you coming in on those kinds of things, or some of the neighbors, so. I think what she's talking about is an 8 to 5 normal business that, what I'm hearing is it's basically gonna be an office structure
It is.
with parking coming and going, cars coming and going.
Yeah,
so.
that was my only thing. You got about 4,800 square feet there in that back, and so that's a big office, or you're storing stuff. So that's,
Yeah.
I've been satisfied in what I needed to know, so.
Thank you.
I-
Anybody else with any questions or comments?
Oh, you're welcome.
Township have any position on this?
I have no comments.
Anybody else with any comments? Rich, do you have anything else? Scott, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. The board will take a short recess and hopefully come back and make decisions on both cases tonight. If we don't make any decisions, and if you don't want to wait, you can call the zoning office tomorrow morning and find out what came out, but we should be able to make decisions tonight. So if you're willing to wait a little bit, you should be able to have some answers. Let the record reflect that at 7:29, we've returned. As it relates to Appeal 21-8, do I have a motion?
I motion that we approve the variance for appeal number 21-8.
I will second 21-8. All those in favor of approving 21-8, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 21-8 has been approved. Appeal 21-9, do I have a motion?
A motion to approve 21-9.
I will second 21-9. All those in favor of approving 21-9, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 21-9 has been approved. I make a motion to adjourn. Thank you.